3 games in, how has the expectancy matched with the reality as far as Welsh football in general is concerned?
Yeah, it's a good question, because I think that so far it's been 3 totally different challenges from 3 different teams who have all caused us a problem in different ways. And I think that sort of says a lot about the league. I think from what I've seen over the last few years, 3 to 5 years, the league's been improving, and I've definitely seen that having been up close and contact with it now. So, yeah, our first game was tough physical contest against a direct Bala who were good at what they did. We actually had a really good tactical battle against Barry on Tuesday night. The first 20 minutes was quite close. So they played a formation that could have caused us a few problems. And then obviously on the weekend was another really tight 1-0 game. One where the opposition defended very well, I thought, and was very hard for it to break down. So yeah, 3 totally different types of games, and 3 that caused us problems, but good to come out with the wins, obviously. But in terms of expectations and the realities of the league, it's really been a tough challenge, and one that's been good so far.
And those 3 games have all resulted in 3 wins. 8 goals scored, none conceded. However, 2 of the games have been by 1-0 margins. That suggests tough encounters on the pitch and extremely fine margins come the final whistle.
Yeah, especially in the first game. Obviously, in the 2 games that we've had the 1-0 victory in, they have been fine margins, and margins that we would like to extend and make bigger margins to make it easier for us. However, probably on the weekend was a good example of that. After we got the first goal early on in the second half, we managed to see through the game and see it out, which was also pleasing. And if we keep keeping clean sheets, it's a good habit to be in. And I always say it's not just for the defenders and the goalkeeper, but for the whole team. The whole team work together from front to back and make sure we keep that clean sheet. So that's definitely a pleasing one. We would still like to get more goals and create more opportunities and chances, but we're happy with the place we're in at the moment.
And the 3 opponents, from your own personal knowledge of them, have all been from scratch, as it were. However, you did watch the home victory against Caernarfon Town just before you took the position at the New Saints. How helpful will that be, or was that, in terms of preparing for the visit to the Oval tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I mean, we get a lot of statistical information and video work too, so we do get to watch all the teams, and I've obviously got good support from the staff here with Chris Sargent and everyone who's involved in the tactical information that we get. So yeah, it's still an advantage. I did get to see them on the Friday night, but I think coming into these games with the split, all the teams can be different and can play slightly different ways. So I think we understand what they're going to hopefully do tomorrow night, but understanding that there could be some types of differences and changes with them, and I think a lot of teams are doing that coming into this split from what I've seen so far.
And we do like our statistics in the press conference. Tomorrow is a 6th v 1st battle. 4 teams between the New Saints and Caernarfon. However, it's a 31-point gap. And when you look at the goal difference, plus 60 for TNS, minus 18 for Caernarfon, that's a swing of 78. The New Saints is on a run of 6 consecutive wins. However, Caernarfon, 4 defeats on the bounce. The New Saints will be favourites to win the game. But how do you guard against complacency when confronted with statistics like that?
Yeah, I mean, like we just said before, I think that it's probably form can go out the windows when you're coming into these final games, because I think a lot of teams who might have made this top half of the split, they can play with a little bit more freedom and have a go at teams. I think when you're in our position as the New Saints, and I think every head coach or manager would say this, you need to win each game, and you're aiming to win every game, and that's what we want to do to the end of the season. So therefore, the other teams want to use us as a scalp and something to fly the flag from by beating us. So I don't think there's any complacency at all with the players, the way that they've trained, the way that we've worked, and regardless of previous results or the good run that we might be on, because I think it's so tight at the top of the league, there's absolutely no chance to be complacent. So yeah, we'll be ready for tomorrow night, and everyone's talking about the fixtures leading ahead, but we're certainly focused and on par with that tomorrow night.
Well, in reference to the fixtures ahead, tomorrow will be all about Caernarfon as far as the opponent is concerned. But just 4 days later, we take on Connors Quay Nomads in the top of the table clash. How do you balance the possibility of maybe resting players, looking ahead to that game, and so on and so forth, but still at the same time maintaining that healthy, positive respect for Caernarfon?
Yeah, I mean, we take into consideration that we've got a good medical team here and strength and conditioning people who take into consideration, with the help of all of us really, the load and the amount of minutes people play and their physical availability, but also making sure that we do focus on each game. And I think that's so important, because the games that are coming up that people might see as being really important are only important if we do the job on Tuesday night, tomorrow night. So it's a bit of a cliche, but we are massively focused on what we're doing tomorrow night. And then once that game finishes, then we'll be focused on moving forward. That's worked for us so far, and we'll continue to do that.
And as we look ahead to the visit to North Wales, what's the availability of the squad?
Yeah, we've come through the games fairly well so far, which is a positive. We've still got obviously the long-term injury for Dean, who's working hard to get back. It was good to see Louis Robles start in that game. That was his first start for a little while as well. Similar probably, I think, to a lot of weeks and a lot of clubs. I'm sure the Saturday, Tuesday games brings about a lot of sort of small niggly injuries that we might have to manage and look at. But we're close, or getting close to a full squad, so that's pleasing.
And finally, away from the actual game itself, just the general perception of things here at the New Saints. The appointment of Gary Brabin over the weekend. Exciting times ahead for TNS.
Yeah, I think it is, and that was a really exciting thing for myself as well, and all the staff. Someone of his experience, the contacts in the game, the coaching and the managing level he's been at, I think is great for everyone involved. It really suits myself taking the title and working as the head coach to have someone like his experience on board to help out in the areas that he will be. So yeah, it's great. He's been in already, and we're really working well together so far, and long may that continue.
And was that a key factor for you personally, taking the position at the New Saints? Yeah,
well, I think we spoke in one of our interviews previously about myself being a head coach and working with the players on the grass, and I think getting the people in the right departments and on the bus moving forward is really key. So yeah, that was a big thing that we discussed before I took the job, and more than happy with that, and really looking forward for that working relationship to flourish moving forward. And we're all on the same page. We want success for TNS, and how we do that can look in a lot of different ways, and we all want to win the league and push on and try and do well in Europe. So the more people we can get involved in that, and the better structure and places, people that we have in the right places, I think is really important. So yeah, looking forward to it.